I would have liked to see him take a more aggressive stance there and just try to use
That's
balance.
true. And with your play, you actually make your health go up to dodge the combo with the coin as well, right? You go up to like 17 life. So yeah, I think I prefer your play as well. But for now, Forsen will actually lose his warrior. And once again, guys, this is a best of 5 because it's the crew system. So Dethelor just needs to win 2 more games, and Forsen needs to win 3. So what do you pick to face against this druid right now?
I think a lot of it's going to come down to how his mage or his paladin deck is built. There's always an argument for queuing up druid versus druid. I think it's something that he's comfortable with. Again, the high risk, high reward. But if his paladin deck has been built to aim at druids, it can do a very good job dismantling that deck. So it really is a matter of builds. I can see all 3 of these builds being potentially good versus druid, and I think that's something he's going to keep in mind when he was building his lineup in general. He's already got 1 weak spot to druid, so he doesn't want to open up multiple weak spots to druid because I would expect it to be such a popular tournament deck at this point. It pretty much has been since the beginning of competitive Hearthstone.
Yep.
Um,
With
so
Innovate and Wild Growth, it's always going to be competitive. And I
yeah,
think Forsen is also a he really likes Freeze Mage as well, so I wouldn't be surprised if his mage is actually Freeze Mage. And Freeze Mage does not really do too well against Druids. So it's gonna be the Druid Mirror.
yeah. Something we didn't see from Dethelor last game is actually Black Knight. That's not to say he doesn't have it in his deck, but we went through a good portion of it and we didn't see it there. So if Forsen's running sort of like a ramp variant, which is kind of indicated to me by this engine Shieldmaster, we're going to see him be potentially playing cards like Sunwalker and maybe even Ancient War, and those cards in the Druid Mirror get a ton of value unless Black Knight is there. So that's something that I think is going to be very much kept in mind with his game plan.
And KT also picked up here, so I believe that this is the ramp druid. I mean, if you run combo and KT, it's kind of weird, right? It's definitely too many win conditions in the deck, and you might screw up your early game.
Yeah.
Deathflow on this hand, he has an Innervate Shape play.
Yeah, I mean, I can certainly think that Innovate Shade is one of the stronger plays that you can make in Druid. Um, but he's definitely going to be concerned a little bit about his curve. He's got Ancient Lore and Force Nature as his other cards. So unless he picks up some mid-sized minions, he's really not going to have much to do outside of the first couple of turns of the game. So he's going to choose to hold Innervate.
Ooh, a Zombie Chow for turn 1 play. That is pretty sweet.
Keep some armor in check. Wrath picked up straight away though.
Well, I mean, if you're not going to Innervate Shade last turn, you're not going to Innervate Shade this turn, so that's perfect here.
Turn 2 Innervate Shade is the best play.
Oh, man.
Floating 1 mana.
Well, I mean, if Innervate just gave you 1 extra mana, would you play that card? I mean, I would consider it a little bit too.
I still think it'd be pretty decent. I mean,
Yeah.
Coin's a good card.
Yeah, Coin is pretty sweet.
We're
Well,
making
so,
some picked ups. This is actually like this game is going to develop really, really strangely over the next couple turns because Forsen can curve through his taunts. Forsen's actually got Black Knight in his deck too, so should they get into one of those Druid of the Claw battles where you're trying to fight for board value, Black Knight ends up being the tiebreaker there. So if Forsen can scale really well into say Druid of the Claw on a taunt next turn,
yep.
he can actually just innervate out KT on turn 6
That would
and
be
really
sick.
start to push for his opponent. But now this Sludge Belcher, this could really change everything too, because the Sludge Belcher is going to provide you an extra taunt availability on the board.
Well,
So
let's
he's
see
just
what
going to
pops up
choose.
first. Ooh, it's a Pint-Sized Summoner. Does that doesn't really change much. The Ancient of Lore is still not going to come down. So yeah, either the Druid of Claw taunt mode or Belcher taunt mode seems really good.
Yeah, I still think I like Druid of the Claw. I think there's some merit. There is some merit to charging Druid of the Claw here, but he's actually going to charge
Oh,
it.
wow. There you go.
Wow.
There is some merit.
Oh my gosh,
Wow.
Swipe gets picked up.
Well, that's a card.
Yeah, I think, gosh, this is such an ugly turn for him too, because both of his opponent's minions are so low that he doesn't want to swipe, and he wants to Hero Power this engine, but he also wants to innervate out this Ancient Allure, this is what he held the innervate for.
Right. But I mean, the swipe pickup is just pretty amazing here. I think removing Druid minions are just really, really strong. You're not going to be able to wait for Wrath in this kind of matchup. Another interfere. Jesus Christ.
Wow. Forsen's hand is getting so strong right now. Just the fact that he can play potentially 13 mana next
In
turn.
one turn.
Sylvanas is a really good draw right
Oh
now,
man,
though.
this is just going back and forth with their card draws.
My gosh.
Drawing everything they need. Oh,
Still definitely some consideration to innervate out Ancient Lore here, though.
okay. You just don't want the Sylvanas to trade, badly, I guess.
Gosh, I don't really know which one of those I like better. I mean, I like both of these plays, honestly.
Yeah, I guess because Dethelor doesn't really know what we know, right? I mean, the
Yeah.
draft pickup would have punished the Sylvanas a little bit, I believe.
Yeah, he would have gotten a 1-2 taunt off of it instead. So
Oh.
KT's going to come out here, and he's actually going to take out this Ancient Allure with an Innervate Wrath and get a second copy of Sludge Belcher back now.
And
this is
spine too.
Wow, this is a massive turnaround for Forsen at this point.
Oh man.
And so Sylvanas is going to need to pull some pretty heavy weight here for this to be a big comeback potential.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, KT is one of those legendaries, just like Sneeds, they're immune to BGH, which is something that deck builders have been thinking of right now. Like whether you build a deck with Dr. Broom plus Rag or like stuff like that and Alexstrasza, so that if they use a BGH on one creature, they can use it on next. Or if you go the other way, where you go with KT and Sneeds instead, then their BGH is rendered useless. So
that's where I personally like to use War Golem to bait out the first BGH.
Oh,
so that I can get through all the rest of the minions.
Wait, actually, Salty Dog is
Oh, that's another really good one too. that baits out Swipe as well.
Yeah,
and trading 5 mana for 4 mana is always a beneficial play.
I mean, it is a spell on the minion, so yeah. All right, so Dethelor here. So you just slam Sylvanas and pray.
Yeah, I mean, Keeper of the Grove is certainly in his mind right now. I mean, that's like the last thing he wanted to see. But this is like the last turn was one of the this kind of turn was one of the reasons you would want to have played Sylvanas last turn, was so that he can try to get something going here. But like, there's no benefit to attacking his opponent's minions right now.
Nothing. If you want to give your opponent another minion, give another opponent another minion for mind control tech. So there is a little bit, right?
You found the way. But this, I think this is going to be the spot where Forsen's going to choose to just basically be as aggressive as he possibly can.
Well, Ramp Druid, how aggressive can you get? You're only pushing 10 damage right now.
I actually
got the Black Knight because you did see the mind control tech last game.
Well, there's also some merit to running your Sludge Belcher into the Sylvanas here, and then trying to clear what's going on here. Like, he could actually run his KT into the Sylvanas as well.
Right.
So that way, if Sylvanas manages to steal Kel'Thuzad, he can actually just answer it straight away.
Yeah, that's actually quite true. But the thing is, like, you always imagine that your opponent has the combo, right? And if they have the combo, then they can just do some shenanigans on the board and force the Sylvanas to take the KT.
Yeah.
It's just a very tricky board right now with no silence. And I love these situations where I'm looking at the player and they go like, okay, what do I do? Because everything is messed up now, you know?
There's also a lot of merit to playing Black Knight here first to reduce the chance that Kel'Thuzad gets stolen from this kind of stuff.
Right. All right.
Exactly
are you gonna see Forsen initiate the attack?
He's just gonna go for face. Oh my gosh, so much damage. He's gonna sit behind Kel'Thuzad and hope that his opponent doesn't have a reasonable answer to it. So Sylvanas actually, there's no way for Dethelor to kill his Sylvanas right now.
Not quite, unless he uses the Sylvanas to hit the KT. But
he just can't do that right now. He has actually no way to deal damage to a Sylvanas, and he has to get through the taunts first.
Wait, no, he uses Force of Nature. He can use Force of Nature to clear.
Okay, so if he uses Force of Nature, he can attack the Sludge Belcher with the 7/7.
Right, and then kill 2 treants. And then, actually, you know what? He can even remove the KT from the field right now with along with his Hero Power too, right? So just Force of Nature and Hero Power. That's exactly the amount of damage. You can kill the KT and the Belcher, and you get to steal the Black Knight. Okay, that's pretty sick.
Wow, this is a really disgusting turn.
Oh no, I think Forsen's gonna not be too happy to see this. That's what happens when you leave a Sylvanas untouched, by the way. Like, shenanigans like this just happens every single time. Oh, it's definitely gonna go greedy? Is he gonna go greedy?
No, we can't go greedy, right?
You're gonna go greedy.
No, I'd go greedy. Go greedy.
Okay.
Make it happen.
Alright, it's just gonna do that. Oh man. That's just so painful.
No, I actually think I would be greedy here, because if he takes the Kel'Thuzad, he doesn't have to Hero Power it, and then his Sylvanas just gets resummoned.
Right, but then if you don't take the KT... Oh, actually, you know what? You're right.
Yeah, if he just the KT, you can just kill it afterwards.
Oh, yeah. We can just kill the KT afterwards if it doesn't... Oh, yeah! That might be a bit better play, huh? Oh, we'll see. But now, Forsen looks terrible here. Look at that.
Yeah. I mean, he expended everything to get to a board position where Kel'Thuzad was going to get him a ton of value. And Sylvanas had just completely disrupted that entire line of play. So he's going to need to draw something pretty big off of this. And Ancient Allure is going to give him a couple extra cards, but when you're staring at a board like this, is Ancient Allure really what you want to be playing? And he says no, but wow, so much gas for Dethelor at this point, and Forsen left with no board, yields a huge initiative to his opponent. And unless he can manage to put together 12 points of damage, this game is going to quickly get out of control. You know, let me ask you this: is Dethelor thinking about combo from his opponent? Is there any merit to him healing himself here?
I mean, you are pretty much a lot ahead, and if you do heal yourself, you do get to establish the shade. So I wouldn't be too sad about that play. But then how often do you see a Druid run Belchers and KT and a combo? You know?
That's true, but you know when you have this far of a lead, what you have to think about is what can I lose to at this point? Like,
Right.
does he need 2 cards? Does he need to overdevelop his board?
That's true. So let's see what Dethelor chooses here. He actually chooses for cards. Yeah, he thinks
Wow.
it's safe enough.
Yep. So this is, I mean, his read is that his opponent just does not have combo in his deck. That's why he's choosing to do this. Actually picks up Innervate and Piloted Shredder from this too. So a massive board lead now.
Oh man.
See, this is where I want to see Forsen pick up Force Nature right here and then draw Savage.
Oh, that is some amount of hope. But if Dethelor is you know, in tune to, you know, Raptors nowadays, they do run mind control tech for sure. Wow. Forsen is forced to innovate out this Keeper of the Grove just for some semblance of a board. Oh man, that's just pretty
if Keeper would have been there, the turn Sylvanas hit.
Oh yeah, that would have been
easy.
Yeah, that would have been easy. Another Wild Growth, but I guess Dethelor doesn't really need too many cards right now. It just needs to like be careful of the MC Tech turnaround. Although all his minions have around the same power level, so not like losing one of his creatures is too big, but still something to, you know, keep in mind of and play around.
Yeah, the way that this game is developing, I don't really see a position for him to you know, not
lose
to play around mind control tech. No. Just
to play mind control tech. Okay.
He definitely could still lose the game here. Like if Forsen say he picks up another big like a 6-drop or a 7-drop to go with the mind control tech, and Dethelor ends up having 4 minions on the board, you could see a really big turnaround because Forsen still got 27 points of health. So if he chooses to cycle these wild growths, this is really like one of the ways that he. Ooh, oh my gosh! And Black Knight does get picked up.
Well, that's 2 Black Knights on the same side of the board.
Usually you see that with Duplicate.
Yeah.
When I first started playing, I tried to Faceless Manipulator a Black Knight so I could copy the battle cry effect.
Yeah.
I was like, yes, I get to blow up a second time, and then I just made a 4/5, and I was like, oh man.
I think everybody has tried that sometime. Oh wow!
Wow! Look at this.
Like this.
Dude, this is such a great job of playing around mind control tech too. Dethelor is so on point in this match so far.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I guess Sonaris has to come out down here.
Yeah, just really no other play.
Run through the motions. that's just like.
Do you just Black Knight? Do you just Black Knight a 2/2 here?
Well,
because now, in the same vein, last turn you played around mind control tech, so you still want to play around mind control tech.
Okay.
Are you Black Knighting a guy and then killing the Cenarius with your 5/3 and your
3/3?
Yeah.
I guess you could. Like,
if he continues to play this way, though, mind control tech's always going to be in the range as long as he has a card in his hand, basically.
Yeah, and Forsen has a card in his hand, right? What card is unplayable at 10 mana? You know, it's either GH or mind control tech.
Or Deathwing.
Or yeah,
just rips Deathwing.
It's one of those. I'll be very surprised.
There's still a big game hunter on the other hand.
I'm gonna go on limb and say nobody's gonna play Deathwing in this tournament.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the opposite side of that. I think there's gonna be at least one person playing Deathwing.
Oh, okay. Unstable portals count or no? Okay, they count. They'll count. God damn it.
I think one person is playing a copy of Deathwing. That's what I think. I think we need to have a little friendly wager about that.
Okay. Right. I will treat Admirable to dinner if there is a Deathwing that comes out.
This is just slam big game. See, now there's no counter to Deathwing.
Nope. That's pretty scary.
If he just draws it right here, I'll be so happy.
Swipe hero power and oh god, swipe is not that useful here too if you use hero power. You can't establish the Belcher as well.
No, this is just gonna be. I think it's just gonna be mind control back on
the board. Right. At least it threatens the Spectral Knight, so at least it's doing something.
So Forsen, you know, he would look like he was in really bad shape, but again, just the amount of health he had is really the difference in him being able to stay in this game and not. You know, the Black Knight's certainly gonna end up being a really key point to closing out this game, but not quite out of it by any means yet. Say he draws something like a Dr. Boom or something.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Actually, I thought that Forsen was just out, but it seems like because Dethelor also traded his minions very inefficiently to play around mind control tech, that Forsen had this, kind of like a advantage because he is playing that card as well. Cycles
This is
instead.
mind control tech though, which is not going to be. I've imagined it's not going to be active
Right.
at any point in this game. So
Yeah, I
this
mean,
Slug
yes,
Belcher.
you're right. If Forsen draws like Sylvanas or like Dr. Boom here, that'd be pretty big.
Yeah. Ancient of War.
Uh-oh.
Gosh, that's.
Oh, no.
Oh gosh,
It's gonna be so.
Oh gosh.
Okay.
I mean, it didn't really matter what happened because there was Sludge Belcher getting blind. It's
I don't want to look.
just brutal right
So
here.
gross.
Oh gosh. Oh, it hurts. Oh, my greetings.
My
Oh gosh.
greetings. Oh no.
Oh gosh. Some Black Knight says none shall pass, but I think that Spectral Knight and Keep for the Grove are gonna pass this turn.
Oh.
That's what I think. Oh my gosh.
Oh.
That's so brutal.
You can see Forsen's soul, like a piece of it fading away.
You just gotta come to grips with it. It's just that's Hearthstone. Sometimes you just
Oh!
wait a minute, hang on.
You can't play around the second one. Okay. Is that a little bit of hope? A little glimmer of hope?
Well, Dethelor's hand is his range again is just still so strong.
Oh,
even if Savage Roar gets picked up, is that enough?
Swipe and Savage Roar. That is just a million damage. If I'm Dethelor, I'm just gonna use both cards and just figure out after that.
It's tough to get more than 10 damage out of Savage Roar.
Right. That's a Pyroblast for 3 mana.
Yeah.
It's a Pyroblast. That's insane.
I mean, granted, he had to get 4 minions on the board.
That's true.
It's still a Pyroblast for 3 mana.
Compared to that Bloodlust, if you use Bloodlust here, it's 5 mana for 12 damage. I think Savage Roar is just like so cheap.
Are you listening to this, Blizzard?
Oh.
Pyroblast for 3 mana. You remember what you did to Pyroblast when it was 8 mana?
Nerf, because 8 mana was not good. Oh man. So yeah, Dethelor is just double checking here, and yep, Forsen's just gonna quit immediately.
Wow, Forsen getting down 2 games to 0 now. He's gonna need a 3-0 to come back from this. Do you think that Dethelor is like? I mean, what's his percentage to win the match at this point? Because he's still got his coup available.
That's true. He can actually choose to play against Forsen's Mage or against Forsen's Paladin. And he doesn't even need to choose now, right? He